What is up, YouTube? It is the Ville Outdoors here. Today is June 24th of 2020. I am back in Valley Forge and we're going to be hunting some wild trout today using our fly rod. Now, I got this around March of this year. It's my first fly fishing combo. It's a wild water fly fishing fly rod. It's a 7-foot 3 or 4 weight. Today I'm gonna get started with this little caddis nymph right there. Kind of tan look to it, more natural to these fish, and it should pick up a few bites. The first time I ever came here, I fly fished some a little upstream from this section, and I ended up hooking 2 on something similar size and similar color to what I have tied on right now. So this is what we're gonna be getting started with today, and hopefully we'll catch some fish. I actually got a fly net with me right here. This is from White River Fly Shop, I think it's called. It's a little bit of a wider net, but it's capable of landing some big fish. Not that I catch any big trout, but it'll help land some fish, because the only 2 I ever hooked at this spot came off right in my hand, so that was a little unfortunate. But now that we have the net, it should go a little more smoothly. With that said, let's get to fishing. We got a bit of rain last night, so water should be freshened up a bit, and maybe these trout are hungry. Bad news is there's another person up in front of me at the best hole in the game, so they say. So depending on how long he plans on staying, might have to walk the other way. He's also in the hole that was producing the most fish the last time I was here, and he might have already fished this hole right in front of this tree, so who knows. Who knows if I'll be able to catch a fish out of here. But there's only one way to find out. Well, guys, I just had my first bite of the day, and I missed it. It's a good sign that there is still fish under this tree. See if I can get a good cast on them. The way they're posted up under here between the 2 other trees kind of makes it a bit difficult. The wind is also making it a bit difficult to get the right drift on these fish, because it's blowing my fly and my indicator everywhere. Really not ideal fly fishing conditions with this wind, but you know, we're gonna try and make do. Alright guys, we're coming up on one of the better spots here. This spot doesn't have a lot of casting room, so my roll cast is really gonna have to be on point. And my roll cast is one of those things that needs work on when it comes to fly fishing, so this should be interesting to see how this goes. But we're gonna give it our best effort and see if we can catch a fish or 2. Let's get the net. Got him. Look at that. Beautiful little brown trout. Let's get a picture of this guy and let him go. Whew. That takes a lot of weight off my shoulders right there. First wild brown on the fly. Alright, I just wet my hands. Now let's get a little brownie unhooked here. There he is. Nice little brown trout. Let's let him go. Alright, he is off. Beautiful little fish. I'll show you what nymph I caught him on right here. So, got my wet net out of the water. First fish in the new net. I'll take it. So that guy bit on that little thing right there. Just that little tiny thing. I guess it's like a little freshwater shrimp pattern, and it caught a fish. So I'm gonna get resituated, put my net back on the hook, and try and catch another one. All right, guys, we are back. So after that last brown trout you saw that I hooked on a fly, I didn't really have much luck after that. And then on top of that, my fly reel got tangled up somehow, so I couldn't really fish correctly, or I couldn't really fish the way I wanted to. So I had to go home and get that straightened out, and then I went back out with the spinning rod to the same creek I was at earlier that day, and I caught a couple cutlips minnow and a bluegill. So not really much worth putting up on YouTube. So today is the 26th of June, so 2 days after the fact, and I am here at the Pickering Creek. I'm going to do a bit of multi-species fishing and creek wading today and seeing what we can get. Not sure if we'll get on any other trout, but we'll take what we can get. That was a terrible cast, and hopefully we have good species variety today. I know there's some different species in this creek that I don't usually catch in other spots, so we'll see. We'll just wait and see. But I am going to switch to a more natural color trout magnet because I do not think this is going to work with this water clarity. Alright guys, we got our first fish coming up right here. Let's check it out. It is a green sunfish. There we go, guys. So far in this video we have the green sunfish and the brown trout. So that is 2 fish in this video. Let's get this guy unhooked here. Not a bad size one. They get a lot bigger than this, but pretty cool fish. Alright, so that green sunfish came right off of this lay down in front of me. Nice wood structure. Okay. Green sunfish are really structure oriented fish, so it makes sense. Oh, I just had another bite. There he is. Probably the same species. Yep, another green sunfish. This one's a bit smaller than that last one. Just gonna go ahead and unhook him real quick. Alright, there he is. Little guy. There he goes. See if we can get something other than a green sunfish here. Alright guys, we got another species coming up here. This one you guys all should know. That is a bluegill. Lepome something, Macrocorus or whatever. Probably just butchered that, but classic sunfish. They're probably the most abundant sunfish everywhere across the United States. Let's go ahead and release this guy right here. There he goes. But we got another species right here, just in my hands. I'm seeing some bigger fish under this bridge. I'm trying to get them to bite. They seem interested in the trout magnet, but right here we got a rock bass, species number 3 of the day, 4 in this video. So we got the rock bass, the bluegill, green sunfish, and brown trout. So let's go ahead and release this guy right here. All right. Now I've seen some big fish in here, like bigger than a foot long. So I'm gonna see if I can get them to bite because they seem interested in this trout magnet. I'm just not sure what they are yet. Investigation, those long fish that we saw following in our lure were actually not trout like I thought they were. They were actually carp. And the chances of catching a carp on artificial are low. Not impossible, but low. So we're not gonna waste our time with that. Although it would be a heck of a fight on this 4-pound line. But we're gonna keep on moving. The clouds don't look too unhappy, so we're just gonna hope that whatever chance of rain there is doesn't happen, and we're just gonna keep fishing like nothing's the matter. I got a fish on. There's another bluegill. Not a new species for the day, so we're just gonna unhook them and let them go. I actually did hook a smallmouth under that bridge that I was just under. Not very big, but that would have been another species for the day. There still could be more lying around in this creek. Pickering Creek is full of smallmouth. I don't know what that was. That might have been a little fall fish. It just jumped out of the water after I hooked it. So that was an interesting little catch right there. But the fishing is definitely not bad today. Something must have clicked in these fish's head that it's time to eat. And eating they are. I might not even have to change trout magnet colors, which is a good thing. I might just have to stick to the one I've been using. The old black and chartreuse bumblebee color. One of my favorite colors. Works in all sorts of conditions. The black gives it that natural look, and the chartreuse gives it that flashy look. And these fish like it. I just got bit right there too, so another fish just picked it up. Another fish picked it up. That's probably what was on our line earlier. That is the fall fish right there. That is another species for the day. A little guy, they get much bigger in here, but that is a fall fish. Beautiful looking fish. So that is our 5th species in this video. Let's go ahead and let Mr. Fall Fish go here. Gave him a bit of a puncture wound, but he'll be alright. He just slipped out of my hands. Just gonna keep walking this bank, casting to either side while we stand in the middle. Most fish don't hang out in the middle of the creek, except that trout I just scared. So that's unfortunate, but I'm tied on. I'm working with a red and black trout magnet. I only have chartreuse jig heads left though, so I'm gonna have to deal with that. Not my favorite color for these water conditions, but it'll work whether we like it or not. Looks like a pretty decent smallmouth. Let's see if we can get him up here. There we go. First small jaw of the day. Got a hand on him, so if you lose him now, he still counts. Ow, he spined me. Alright, there you go guys. Decent small jaw. Let's go ahead and get a shot of this guy and let him go. Alright guys, last look at our little smallmouth bass. Just gonna let him go right at our feet here. And he's off. There's a lot of micros around this spot. Can't really tell if they're ones I have yet or not, but not too concerned with that right now, but might be able to catch one later if we can find some worms. Oh my lord guys, I didn't have the camera running, but look at the size of this rock bass I just hooked. That is a chunky one. He's big too. That is a nice hand-sized rock bass. Whew. That is a fat one right there. He's got a belly on him too. Very nice healthy rock bass that came out of this deep hole right here. A little bit of a current. And he was just sitting right at the bottom of that. He's just gonna go right back to his lair. I had a couple more bites in there, but it's hard to fish the trout magnet in this deep hole. A lot of current moving. And you have to wait a while to get your trout magnet down to the right depth. You can't just reel it in right away. You gotta cast it, pause for a couple seconds, and then once you see your line starting to move like you're on the bottom or towards the bottom, just slow jig it. And that's how I caught that chunky rock bass. There's a big old tree down right where I wanted to fish. So I'm gonna take a look, see if there's any way around it. And if not, then I'm just gonna try and find a worm and target those micros I saw earlier, but that's a real bummer that tree is down. Well guys, this is the 4th or 5th bluegill I've caught out of this hole right in front of me. But other than that, it is not much else. But gonna give it a few more casts and see if anything different pops up. And then I'm gonna head back to the hole with the micros because I want to find out what they are, whether I have them on my species list or not. If I don't, then we could get to 48 species today, which would be a little boost before heading to Florida. We're definitely going to cross the 50 mark in Florida, no doubt about it. But it's just whether we can get to 60 or not. 60 would be a real deal. 12 species in 1 week. In Florida we could make it happen, but we're gonna have to catch almost everything available. We're going to the Gulf Coast side, so it's gonna be a little bit different. There's another little fall fish. Oh boy. I'm gonna click on hooking. Alright, I'm gonna go back, try and find a worm, then let's get the micro fishing going. Alright guys, I got my micro hook tied on with a tiny sliver of worm. I'm gonna head up the creek and focus on that one school of bigger micros I saw, and then maybe try and go after some of the smaller ones, but I'm only really concerned about the one fish I saw that I wasn't sure what it was. It looked pretty big for a micro, and it didn't look like a creek chub. So those are the only two things I care about, because if it's not a common shiner and it's not a spot tail shiner or a spot fin shiner, then it's a new species for me. So, well guys, this is not what we wanted to see. That is a little common shiner right there. Another species for the day, but not the one we wanted. Still a pretty fish, but not a new species. Well guys, now that we caught that one common shiner, I'm pretty sure the whole rest of the school is going to be common shiner as well. But just for safe measures, I rigged up another worm. I'm going to cast it back out there. If something different shows up, I will be really surprised. There we go. That is another common shiner. Bit prettier colors on this guy, but still nothing new. There he is. Alright guys, that is going to be it for today's video. It was a little slower than I would have liked it to be. It started off pretty good. We ended the day with, let's see, we got green sunfish, bluegill, rock bass, smallmouth bass, and fall fish, and common shiner. So we got 6 species today, which isn't terrible. I've had better days for sure. My highest is 11 species in one day. But in this video, we have 7 species if you count the one on the fly. So it wasn't a terrible day overall. Hopefully the video is not too boring. It would have been better if we could have got a little more trout on the fly, put a little more excitement in it. But unfortunately that didn't happen. So anyways, the Florida video should be coming up soon. I leave on the 4th and I'm getting there the 5th, and then I'll be staying to the 12th. So that week I will not have any videos up. I will just be focusing on fishing and catching new species and hopefully some big fish down in Florida. Big fish would really be key. I need a new wallpaper on my phone. So that is the plan. I'm gonna film a couple videos down in Florida hopefully, and then I'll edit them when I get back and just put them up whenever I get to put them up. So on that note, I'll see you on the next episode of The Ville Outdoors. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to like and subscribe.